Hopefully I'm live. Let's see. See if I'm live right now. Yeah, I'm live. Impressive. All right. If you don't know me, my name is Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Peter Lineweber, publisher of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpete@gmail.com. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. It can be about huddle, recruiting, anything. I'll answer it. Just a quick reminder, by the way, today is September 1st. And since it's September 1st, this is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And as always, I've done this for 4 or 5 years now. All tips and donations don't go to me. Send them to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you like my work, if you even don't like my work, please donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. They do a wonderful job. Link is below. I might type in a link again. You're going to see it all over my pages and Twitter. Please give to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. That's why you see all the yellow ribbons in that. But it is September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Please feel free to donate. No tips, no donations to me. Just send it to St. Jude's. Give donation page. I have it. I have the link below. And if you're watching this on Forsyth, they're gone. They're not going to be playing week 2. And I believe Porter just ended their game too. They're not going to have a game as well. Porter. I think Porter is going to miss 2 games now. And I don't know if Loyola Academy has found the game yet. And I know Cerro Gorda, their school, they're not going to play football either this week either. So COVID is becoming a pain in the butt. No lie about that. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow, 8 p.m. with my co-host Patrick Cotto, going to be talking DuPage County football on the DuPage Run and Shoot Show. Make sure you check it out, the DuPage Run and Shoot Show. Also, 9 a.m. every Saturday is Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, going over IHSA scores, news, notes, who's the MVP of the night, who's the coach of the night, who gets the heralded Pumpkin Spice Donut Award. Make sure you check it out. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, 9 a.m. Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. Got a doubleheader this week. Ottawa Marquette versus Chicago Christian. In the second game of the week, I have St. Edward's taking on Taylorville. A very good Taylorville team going against a pretty good St. Edward team. Coach Rose doing a wonderful job with that St. Edward Green Wave team this season. So let's get started, shall we, for games of the week. And you guys can ask your questions. I will get to your questions after I am done with the whole shebang. And all right, so Ottawa Marquette versus Chicago Christian Friday night at Chicago Christian. To me, again, very strong Ottawa Marquette team. I was very impressed with from my takeaway on Monday. They had to finish their second part of the game on Monday due to extreme heat from Saturday afternoon. Very impressed with Ottawa Marquette team. I think the key to that is going to be their fullback, and I also love Alex Graham at quarterback for Ottawa Marquette. I think he's grown into his spot. I know he had some troubles in the two double-sorted athletes that can play on the defensive side and offensive side of the ball, and the defensive back and wide receiver. I think it's key, again, the discipline of that Chicago Christian defense against the Ottawa Marquette offense. If they can't get any hold on to it, if they are delayed in their assignments, if they miss their reads, it's going to be a long day for Chicago Christian. It really is. And it's going to be on the other side of the ball, too. Chicago Christian opens up that game of the passing attack against Ottawa Marquette. It could spell trouble for Ottawa Marquette. So it's going to be a good game. Keep an eye out for Ottawa Marquette versus Chicago Christian, deep dish football game of the week. All right, next big game, Maine South versus Warren Township. Maine South 1-0, Warren Township 1-0. Maurice Edwards in Warren Township. He had a wonderful game in the first game. Maine South looks unbelievably great with O'Keefe at quarterback. Again, my main thing for Maine South is how do they counter that dominant Warren Township defense. That's going to be huge for Maine South. And on the other side of the ball, for Maine South's defense is how do they stop Maurice Edwards, that running attack, and that passing attack of Warren Township too. So it should be an interesting game as Maine South takes on Warren Township. Next game is sort of an interesting game, Evanston versus Libertyville. I really like this game. I think Evanston is Sebastian Cheeks. He's a star, no doubt about that. I think there's still questions on that Evanston roster. I think that Libertyville roster is very, very underrated. I think they have an underrated offensive line that I wish would be talked about more. I can see 2 or 3 Division I recruits on that offensive line. I think that offensive line is going to be dominant for Libertyville. But the main worry, again, is going to be Evanston's defense against Libertyville's offense. I see that as a key matchup, especially the offensive line against their their front seven of Evanston. It should be a good game as Libertyville takes on Evanston. And two teams with one loss in the Black Diamond Conference, El Dorado versus Johnson City. This is a big game for both teams. Johnson City loses to Nashville. El Dorado got lost to Fairfield. I think this is going to be a very important game in the Black Diamond Conference. Keep again, as always, for Johnson City, Austin Brown. He is their star. But for El Dorado, features a good running attack as well. Definitely a game to watch. Next, two teams that surprised some people. Jacobs and Crystal Lake Central. Jacobs beat Crystal Lake South. And Crystal Lake Central, I believe, who did they beat? They beat a good team, and I totally forgot it. My mind is absolutely blanking me. It's an important game in the Fox Valley to see which team will succeed into that part of the surprise team. Hampshire, they lost to Burlington Central. Burlington Central's actually, we're going to be talking about that in the next segment. But Jacobs and Crystal Lake Central are a key game in that Fox Valley. This is a great chance to be 2-0. Crystal Lake Central, I said, do not sleep on that passing attack at Crystal Lake Central. They are unbelievable, especially the guy that transferred from Crystal Lake South to Crystal Lake Central. Keep an eye out for Crystal Lake Central. And on Jacobs, Grant Steck, Nasir, the running back, he's a stud. Ben Lundum. Team. This is a big test for Coach Melvin and his Rockets as they take on a tough Prairie Ridge offense. Got a good option quarterback that I really like at Prairie Ridge. Burlington Central, good running attack, good offensive line. Coach Sabo, and I'm forgetting the other guy's name. They do a wonderful job as line coaches for Burlington Central, and a good defensive line coach, Solomon. Big shout out to him. He's a hell of a coach as well for defensive linemen. Gibson City versus Fisher. Big game for Gibson City as they take on the Fisher Bunnies. Gibson City, Adrian Lowry's their best star player. The Fisher Bunnies, again, very underrated passing attack with that team. Looking forward to seeing how Fisher handles Gibson City and Adrian Lawley. I'm bad with names. I admit that. Forston versus Tupek. Big NUIC battle. Forston got their first win, and they're playing a good Tupek team. I'm very interested in this game. And for NUIC, for the NUIC conference. Antioch versus Morris is another jumpstart game that I like to see. Antioch, big game against Morris. Morris is now 1-0. They beat Coal City in a pretty good game. And I think Morris is that team that could make a deep run into the playoffs. And for Antioch, the quarterback and their two guys, again, they graduated. They're University of Minnesota, but do not sleep on Joey Newman. They also have a good running attack as well for Antioch. So it should be an interesting game. And Gillespie always has his team going for Antioch. Next game, Nazareth Academy versus Lamont. Nazareth Academy, again, big upset. They lost to Richards. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming, but I don't think a lot of people really put that much faith into Nazareth. I think Nazareth, there were some questions, and they were overshadowed by the fact that they are Nazareth Academy. And I think after the week, I think they got humbled. I think they're going to be ready to play. And I think Lamont is definitely another underrated team that no one really talks about. Cam Post at linebacker, he's an absolute stud. Great offensive line. They got two D1 offensive linemen. Good, solid group of athletes. Lamont football is unbelievable right now. It's going to be a good game as Nazareth takes on Lamont. Next game, Arcola versus Reed Custer. Arcola loses against Tuscola in the Tuscola Wars. Now the big question is, can they go to Reed Custer? It's a pretty good travel to Reed Custer and get that W. For Reed Custer, this is some unfamiliar territory. They got their first win. They bring in a legendary program in the small school system of IHSA football. Can they get that first big win? That's going to be, I'm sorry, can they get that second win? Can they put consecutive wins together? And again, it's tough. It really is tough to try to get a program that's not known for winning to start winning and to basically believe in themselves. It is tough to get kids to believe in themselves. It is really tough. As a former coach, I can speak on it. It is really tough. It is hard. It's a pain in the ass sometimes too, because kids it's doubt with them. But if Reed Custer can get this win against Arcola, this is a big game for Reed Custer. They're taking on a legendary program in Arcola. If they can get that W, you talk about a huge boost for that team. And then I believe next week they're taking on Lyle. And Lyle's playing Westmont, my team, and Lyle's probably going to win that game pretty big, too. That is a huge boost for Reed Custer. So do not sleep on these Reed Custer comments. Keep a close eye on this Reed Custer team. Now, Batavia versus Oswego. Oswego's got that one loss. Batavia's got that one win. Big game for Oswego to try to get 1-1 and not get to 0-2. Batavia is a tough team, and we've talked about this numerous times. Batavia versus Phillips, I don't know why a lot of people were saying that they were evenly matched. I thought Batavia was overly matched over Phillips, and Batavia won that game. I don't think that was much of a surprise. I think the big surprise is the Batavia passing attack, and I think as it gradually weeks go by, I think it's going to be more of a power than a weakness for Batavia. Next one, and Oswego's Oswego. They're going to make the playoffs, no doubt about it. I think Oswego just had a tough game, and I think Oswego's going to have a wonderful night versus Batavia, but I think they're probably going to lose that game. That's just my personal feeling. Glenbard North versus Naperville North. Glenbard North, they got that first win. I had this team as a big surprise in DuPage County. They're taking on a tough team of Naperville North. If Glenbard North can get that upset, watch out for this team. But Naperville North, Aiden Gray, those Williams brothers for Naperville North, that defensive line, Kevin Madden, they're scary. It's a scary team, Naperville North. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's going to be another game in Illinois that you got to keep an eye out for. Next game, Simeon versus Bolingbrook. Simeon got blanked by Julia Catholic last weekend. Bolingbrook, big win over Manuka. This is a big win over Manuka. So I was surprised. I was surprised. But if you look at the film, the Bolingbrook quarterback was unbelievable. He was something special for Bolingbrook. And if they can keep that momentum and they beat Simeon, Bolingbrook could be a serious challenger to Lincoln Way East. Just think about that. Keep an eye out for Bolingbrook. Phillips versus Mount Carmel. City versus Bishop Mack. Cole City got the loss against Morris. Bishop Mack lost to. They lost to Marmion Academy in a big surprise game. Wasn't expecting it. Something. Bishop Mack. I just don't know what's going on with Bishop Mack, but this is a big game they got to win. They have to beat Cole City. I think the must win in this game is for Bishop Mack. Cole City, when they get to conference play, there's a lot of teams in that conference play of Cole City that we thought were going to be Lions, but they turned out to be Lambs. So Bishop Mack needs this win really bad. Cremoni versus Plainfield North. I love Cremoni. I was impressed with the fight that they had with Lincoln Way East. Big respect to Cremoni. Plainfield North, they just blew me away. Their defense is swarming. Underrated quarterbacks, underrated running attack. Plainfield North versus Cremoni is a big game to watch. IC versus Marion Central. IC, big win over Montini. They get the crown of the private schools in DuPage County. Going against Marion Central, who got the big win. This is a game I'm looking forward to. Marion Central, this is your big. I don't know why people said that Marion Central was going to go 0-9 this year. I don't know why people. In this year, depending on how they go against IC. IC's ready to play football right now. IC's on fire right now. But it'll be interesting to see IC versus Marion Central. Another one I forgot is Peoria versus Wayne St. Francis. That's a big game. Wayne St. Francis has to win that game. They have to win that game. They can't come out 0-2. We talked about them. Everyone's talked about them, but this is the big game, and I know they had some problems with the young quarterback. I think everything's going to be good with that, but they got to beat Peoria. And Peoria is a tough team. Coach Thornton gets those lines ready. So definitely a game to watch as well. Lincoln Way East versus Naperville Central. Naperville Central beat Hinsdale Central in a very hard-fought game. Lincoln Way East beats Cremoni. Naperville Central, to me, I don't know why people between both these teams. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think Naperville Central is going to give Lincoln Way East a fight. Kankakee versus Washington. Kankakee got the first win. Washington, again, is a tough team. That linebacker core is unbelievable at Washington. Skaggs, and I'm forgetting. And a tough Corey Phillips at running back. I'm very interested to see how Geneva responds, and especially their defense, how they stop that running attack of Kingland. Next game, Neuqua Valley versus Wheaton Warrenville South. Warrenville South got the first win, so did Nequa Valley. This is a big test for Nequa Valley and both Warrenville South. Sean Norris, again, he's done wonders with that team. And Summer Dyke, the quarterback of Warrenville South, had an unbelievable game, his first game. I think a lot of people were sleeping on the fact that he wasn't. Some people said that he was not going to be able to produce the numbers that Parker Brown did. I have a feeling that he is going to, and I think Matt Summerdike is one of the best quarterbacks in the state, and definitely need to keep an eye out for as he goes on against Nequa Valley. Menike at quarterback, he's been unbelievably special. Forgetting Grant Larkin, another great, Carter Sessa, another hell of a wide receiver. Nequa Valley's got it. They got it. And they didn't miss Moreno, who graduated. Nequa Valley, Warrenville South, big game in DuPage County. Providence Catholic versus Wheaton North. Providence Catholic shocks the world. They beat Willowbrook. I think a lot of people were completely flabbergasted by that score. Providence didn't look like they didn't have anything, but they do now. And this is a big test for them as they take Wheaton North. Wheaton North just absolutely blanked Downers Grove South 50-0, which was a complete shock. This is a game. This is a big game. And I think whoever comes out of this game could be a serious. Richards versus Marist, big Southside game as Oak Lawn Richards takes on Marist. Marist won their first game. Richards won their big game against Nazareth. Can they continue that success that they had against Nazareth and could take it to Marist? It's going to be a hell of a game. Definitely keep an eye out for that Marist offense. They've got these two dynamic small little wide receivers. They don't look much, but they can kill your secondary. Marist is that good of that passing attack. Willowbrook versus DGN. DGN gets their big game. They beat Hoffman Estates, which I was completely shocked by. Willowbrook, they lost to Providence Catholic. Big game. It's one of those 0-1 versus 1-0. The 0-1 was supposed to be this top dog, and the 1-0 is the surprise. We'll see what happens. That's a big game in the West Suburban Conference. Rock Island versus Dunlap. Very interesting game in Rock Island versus Dunlap. For me, the main thing is Dunlap and those offensive line against that Rock Island defensive line, I think will be an interesting contest. Next one, Palatine versus Hersey. Hersey got their win. Palatine got a loss to St. Charles North. Big game as we talk about big games. But again, Palatine has that great passing attack, but St. Charles North did a great job of subduing that passing attack. And they go against Hersey with Jimmy Maka, their top quarterback, definitely a player to watch. And the last one, St. Charles North versus Lake Zurich. Big game, as I say, especially for Lake Zurich as they test themselves out. And again, how do they apply pressure to that young St. Charles North Plum quarterback? That's going to be one of the key things for Lake Zurich. And Lake Zurich, they got a great group of kids, and Coach Plants is doing a wonderful job at Lake Zurich. Definitely, Coach, you need to be talking about. And again, if you like my work this month, because it's Childhood Cancer Awareness Month every September, in the link below is a link to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Don't send me any tips. Don't send me any donations. Send that tip and donation to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And if you don't like St. Jude's Children's Hospital, also check out the Shriners Children's Hospital as well. Feel free to leave a donation there if you like my work. And if you don't like my work, donate to them anyway. Say, hey, we hate Coach Big Pete, but we're still going to send you money. But it goes to a good cause, as this month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month of September. I will be answering questions now. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I think Dokimis is going to be good this season. I think they're going to pull off the win. Quincy Notre Dame. I think Quincy Notre Dame that was a big historic win for Coach Cornell over Quincy. Big shout out to Quincy Notre Dame, and big shout out to Coach Cornell. And thank you so much. But yeah, with the COVID, I thought